Tuesday morning. How are you this morning? I am great and cold. Man, it's like 30 degrees different than yesterday morning. So bundle up, people, for the next 5 days, I think, or 6 days, something crazy like that. It is going to be cold in the morning. And thankful for my wonderful husband. Shout out to Tim. Had my car warm for me. I know, I only drive a mile and a half to work, but if you're cold for that mile and a half and then you come into the radio station and we don't have heat in here, so I just love it that he starts my day with a warmed up car. So I come in here warm and it kind of sets up my day. So I appreciate it. Yesterday, busy, love it. Was training all kinds of people yesterday on the equipment. I'm getting ready to remove the iPad and stuff out of here. It just become a pain. I don't know any other word to do it. People are leaving technology open. They're not charging it. They're leaving it all over the station. And I got to tighten up some things around here. So that is one of the things that I'm tightening up is the iPad is being removed. So I appreciate everybody giving an appointment and scheduling and training, and it's just going really, really well. So I appreciate that. And then, okay, you know how I've been struggling with the calendar. Right? Y'all know it. If you know me, I've been struggling with a calendar. I have to have a real calendar. I have to have it on my desk and I have to write everything on it. I have tried everything y'all have suggested for me to do, but I am a sticky kind of girl and a calendar kind of girl that writes everything on it. So needless to say, I had not transferred something over from my phone to my paper calendar. Thank goodness. It was a wonderful lady named Connie from Tomoka Church that understood. She came to the door. I didn't know what the heck was going on. We pulled it off and had an awesome interview yesterday about a new ministry at Tomoka Christian Center. I love Tomoka. Shout out to Tomoka. It's called Hope in the Waiting. And so it's a women's group that is going to help you if you have a child, a neighbor, a foster kid, whatever, that is a prodigal child. This is the thing to go to. So it is called Hope in the Waiting, and it starts on February 6th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, head on over to WAPN's Facebook, scroll down, get involved. But shout out to Connie for jumping in, being understanding, and a great interview. I love it. Love it when that happens because I was not ready. Let me just tell you, which if you know me, that I do not like to be ready for an interview. I like to do it like I'm the listener. So it works out for me. That's just something that does work out for me. But understanding people are awesome, especially on a Monday. So thank you. Yesterday was just busy, end of the month, busy. And then I had a couple things I needed to take care of after work with one of my children. So that was great. And now I'm here today, kicking it in gear. And I walked in the door with an attitude of let's do this. Let's just take on today with the goodness of God. Let's just take on today, praising the Lord, being thankful. And, it's 2 for Tuesday. And so as I was driving in this morning, I always get up early and I pray, and I always get up and say, what are we going to do today? And I always try to have a grateful heart. And as I was driving in today, I was just grateful, just because, I could be in so many other situations. I could be through so many other things, and I do have heat, and I do have a roof over my head, and I do have a vehicle, and, I do have a good job. Yes, I go to work every day. I show up and go to work. And, that's the thing. I participate in life. And if you're showing up and you're participating in life, God wants to bless you. He really does. And so you do your part and God will do the rest. And it's kind of what I was thinking about as I was driving in. I get a lot of emails and a lot of phone calls about different stuff. And sometimes you just get it and you're like questioning, different things. And so I was praying over the emails this morning because I got a couple of emails that we're like, how do we help this person? How do we help that person? And there is some amazing, wonderful organizations out there. I believe that I totally believe that God makes all these different 501c3s for different purposes and different needs and different resources. And so that's what I was kind of thinking about as I was doing my emails this morning. I was thinking about, that's something that I've really been working on the last few years here at WAPN. is bridging gaps with the nonprofits and the ministries, because the ministries can't do everything. I know that we would love it if they could just have every answer to every question, but they can't. And so having the different nonprofits that have reach a particular need is amazing. And so I'm so thankful that that is something that God has encouraged me to do these last several years, is to, interview and to participate and go check out and all those things. And people always say to me, well, how do you find time for all that? Time is an amazing, wonderful thing. It is an amazing, wonderful thing. You just have to learn to schedule. You have to learn to self-care. You have to learn to bend a little, be flexible a little. But God will multiply your time and make a way for things that are important to you. And so I love it that in this last year or so, he's really worked on my schedule, and he's really worked at, my calendar. And so yesterday when that happened, but I was thinking about it when it happened, I was overbooked, which is fine. But I had this opening. Like, I thought it was for 18 other reasons, but God knew that I had forgot and knew that I didn't put everything on every calendar. So it worked out. And so God had already been before me. He's always before you. And everything in life is a choice. Good, bad, ugly, great, wonderful, whatever it is, you have choices. And so I just giggled when that happened yesterday, because I thought, I'm human. I made a mistake. I didn't merge the two things together, but God knew that was going to happen and allowed it to work out. And I am thankful for that. And so I was thinking just about life in general. How many things happen and we want to blame this or do this or whatever. Life is life, and things happen. And you have to learn to praise your way through the things. And you have to be comfortable knowing that it's all a test and it's all part of the money, and you got to push through. And so I just thank God for yesterday. I thank God for inconveniences. I thank God for reminding me of things, showing me that scheduling, showing me the tools that he gives you. He gives you awesome tools. And sometimes we mess up the tools even by trying to do this or doing that or whatever the agenda is. And God's trying to show us that there is a plan in every single day, and there is a purpose in every single day. And you can either go boldly in it and excited about what he's doing, or you can fight and, not be happy and da-da-da-da-da. And I choose to go into every day with my eyes wide open, my ears listening, and say, okay, God, what are we going to do today? And it's like an adventure every single day. When was the last time you went on an adventure? No plans, no nothing. You just said, let's go for it, and saw and see what God has planned for today. Well, I know I can't do that when I work, because you have to work, but I think he spices it up sometimes, like yesterday, and it ends up being a wonderful, great thing. Even this morning, I was working, and all of a sudden I heard this weird noise, and I heard this like compressor thing, and I thought, oh no, we got transmitter problems, Of course, that's where I went, just because it was a very weird noise, okay? So I go back there, and I got my camera, and I'm going to videotape it so that when I call Shane or send Shane a message, whatever, I have the noise. I know that girls' noises, my husband's always taught us as women to listen for the noise. And I can probably make noises of batteries and starters and brakes and all that, because my husband has taught me that. Well, transmitter or not, Shane has taught me the different sounds of radio. So I'm back there and I'm videotaping it, and I'm laughing. I'm going, okay, this is so silly, but this is how I got to show them, right? And all of a sudden, this white piece of equipment comes on, and it makes all this noise, and then it decompresses, and I started giggling. I said, oh, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's so cold out that it's, regulating the equipment, and it's doing what we do. That piece of equipment that doesn't get used very often is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And I kind of giggled. I thought, first, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh no, we got a problem. And like, Houston, we got a problem. And then I sit there for a couple of minutes, and I don't freak out. I don't call Shane. I don't do all the things that I used to do. I wait on the Lord to show me. And so I'm waiting, and that happened. And I just giggled. I thought, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Don't we mess up because we don't give something time? And I feel like that is a thing that we do. We're impatient. We're a microwave kind of society. We want everything now and we want it our way. We don't even give it a chance. Sometimes something is happening and it's the best thing ever, but we go in with the attitude. Like I went in with the attitude to the equipment today. It was great. Something's wrong. When it was really great. Something was doing exactly what it was supposed to be doing and decompressing and doing whatever it's supposed to do to make the equipment run efficiently when it's cold out. And I just laughed. I said, God, I get it. What are you teaching me today? What are you showing me today? And I was just praising the Lord for reminders, because when you've been doing this for 40 years and, I love what I do. I love the people. I love the ministries. I love the listeners. You get just used to it. And then when something happens, you go one way or the other. And I just loved it that the one way or the other, today God made me giggle. So when you're going through life and there's a hiccup or something goes wrong or whatever, relook at it and say, what is the purpose in this? What am I learning? What are you showing me? What are we doing? And then when you take a step back and you see God's perfect plan, you just smile and say, but God, but God, but God. And I know it's hard sometimes to find the but God in the situation. Those first 30 seconds of this morning that was happening, I wasn't seeing the but God. And then I got the grace. And then I got the hallelujah. And I love it when God does that. He reminds me all things he knew about has went before me and is working it out for the good. It's not the good of me, just so we all know that. It's the good of the situation. Allow yourself today to be looking for the good of the situation and what God is trying to show you. It might be uncomfortable. It might be like, a lot uncomfortable. It might not be what you want. But if you'll follow God's lead, lean into it, and like me, get the camera out to videotape it and stand there, and then he shows you the purpose and the plan, you just got to smile and you got to say, I got you, God. I see what you were doing this morning, and I appreciate you, and I'm going to praise you through this because it's for your victory and not mine. Let's get our favor on. Let's get this day going. It's going to be a great day. You are a child of the Most High God. Your Father created the whole universe, not just the equipment, not just my SUV, not just whatever, but all things. And so let's go in today looking for what he's done for us. So remember, Tomoka Christian Center, sign up. You must go online and sign up for this women's event. And it is Friday, February 6th, 6 to 8 p.m. You sign up at tomoka.cc/events. Check it out and see what's going on. Remember, we're decluttering. So this is the digital week. Yes, this is something that probably out of everything I need to do the most, because I save every darn picture. I save every thread on my phone. I save it all. So if I have to go back and find something or whatever, and so that is probably, something I really need to work on. So is my digital footprint, thumbprint, whatever you want to call it. I need to clean it up. I need to just work on it. And then the medicine cabinet. Because if you're like me, I will buy cold medicine or whatever it is, and I take 2, and then all of a sudden a couple years has gone by, and go through the medicine cabinet and clean it out. Get rid of that stuff. Throw it out and regroup and take care of it. Well, it is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Cold. We're only going to hit 50 degrees today. It's like 33 now or lower. So it's going to be cold today. Madison's only hitting 49 today with a low of 26. And it's funny because I saw 26 somewhere, and I told my husband, it's like going to be 26. And he goes, honey, I don't know what you saw. It's one of your things that you look at that's not real. It must have been Madison because it's 26 today. And so maybe that was what it is. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday, Sam and Richard and Joshua and Ken and everybody else that's celebrating a birthday, anniversary, whatever you're celebrating. Now, yes, this used to be one of my favorite things, chocolate cake. It is funny that I used to like chocolate cake. Then I liked German chocolate cake. And then I liked a red velvet cake. And now I could take it or leave it. Isn't it funny how you change, you reset the different things that you do? So, yeah, even though it's chocolate cake day, I don't need a piece. Isn't that a great thing to be able to say, I don't need it? God has really helped me. Let me just tell you. Well, y'all, I'm out of here. I'll be busy today. And just keep me in prayer as I push through everything today.